Okay, guys, welcome to this live session. Thank you guys for joining us. Elaine will be here in just a moment. I'm going to send her the link to the meeting right now. Great. Let's get this URL sent over. So yeah, thanks everyone for coming. If you made it on time, I'm sure a few people will pop in later. And yeah, please start asking your questions. Today we're going to cover, we're going to basically do just a casual Q&A, while mostly covering things about starting with iTutor Group, tips for newbies, how to get started, how to get started on the right foot as well. We'll be talking about things like that. Now, in the chat on the side, feel free to type your questions out. Ask questions about anything you want. Ask us questions about us. Ask us questions about iTutor Group. Whatever you want to know. Okay? Great. So we're just about to... hello. Hi, Lily.
Hello?
And Elaine's here. Hi, Elaine. How you doing?
Hello, Joe?
Yep.
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Good.
yeah,
That was my
that's good.
fault.
So, we are live now?
Yep, we're live now. So great. I'm going to introduce Elaine, everyone. I'm just trying to make sure I've got everything right here because I've got a lot of things open trying to stream this properly.
Yeah,
So give me a sec. Yeah,
okay, no
everything looks good.
problem.
So, everyone, this is Elaine. She has been working at iTutor Group for 2 years, or over 2 years now, I guess, and she is one of the teacher representatives.
Mhm.
And the teacher reps are people like myself, Lily, who's in the chat, Elaine, and a few others. And we kind of collect feedback and help you guys kind of manage a bit of communication between teachers and the company, and just try to help sort things out and smooth things out a bit when things get a bit spicy. Anyway,
Mhm.
yeah, so Elaine is also starting to make videos and things as well, I think. She's got a YouTube channel, so you guys should go and check that out. And now
Yeah.
Elaine's going to introduce me.
Yeah, so hello, my super teachers. It's very good to be here. So finally, I can actually interact with you and answer all your questions. So tonight I'm here with the amazing Joe, and he has been working with a tutor group for 3 years. And he's a teacher, a trainer. He's also a rep as well, teacher representative. And he is here tonight to help me to answer all your questions. And he has lots of tips to share with us tonight.
Good.
Okay?
Nice. Perfect. Thank you for that. Nice introduction.
Oh,
So
you're welcome.
so we're starting to see a bit more activity in the chat. I think what happened was because I had the countdown running, but it's the post needed approving, didn't it?
Yeah. So yeah, so I actually had to approve it, but don't worry because now I guess that everybody can see it.
Exactly.
But I can see. Oh, okay. I can see the number. Wow, more people. Yeah, people are joining.
That's
That's
it.
great.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me see who is here. Moacir, hello. How are you? We're good. And you? Lily, it's very good to have you here. Andrew, hello.
Who's
Okay, it's very good.
I'm trying to figure out how the chat works here. Trying to figure out the spaces, whether the new
Yeah.
stuff is at the top or at the bottom. At the bottom, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry guys, we're not pros. We're getting used to this.
Yeah.
So yeah, hey everyone. Good to see you all. And yeah, so I guess we'll start off by talking about. Well, first I want to ask everyone in the chat who already works at iTutor Group. Do any of you already work at iTutor Group, Tutor ABC, VIP Junior, Tutor Junior? Do you already work for them? So if you do, we'll be covering some tips about how to, carry on working efficiently and effectively at iTutor Group. And if you don't, we'll be talking about how to get started and what you need to do to apply, how to get recruited, how to make sure everything goes smooth. Yeah, me, Doc Andrews, me, says Marion. Good.
Yeah, okay, it's good.
Cool. So you guys are already working here. All right, so yeah, as we go along, we're going to kind of rely on you guys to just ask questions. So if you've got any burning questions that you want to ask us, just go ahead and put them down, and we'll always try to pick them up and answer them as we go along.
Mm-hmm.
So, Elaine, number one
Yeah.
tip for people who are wanting to work at iTutor Group that don't work there already, what advice would you give them?
Okay, so I think that the first thing that you guys should do is to actually do some research about iTutor Group, about the different types of sessions that we offer, about the minimum requirement in terms of hours. Like we actually ask teachers to commit to 10 peak hours a week, but 4 of them on the weekends. And I have seen teachers that they actually went, to like the final steps, like onboard training, making the intro video, uploading photos and everything. And then they had actually to give up because they couldn't commit to those 4 hours on the weekend. So I think that it's pretty much that you should try to actually read about iTutor Group, about all those things that we actually ask teachers to commit to. So how about you, Joe? What do you think?
Good. Yeah. So that's a good point that you raised there, and I actually want to touch on that a bit more. I'm not sure if you guys can see this. So these are the peak hours behind me that you need to commit to. And this is all in Beijing time. I'm not sure if I think it might be a little bit small for you guys to read, but this is what Elaine was talking about, and this is one of the biggest problems for most people joining. And it's fine if you read it and understand it, but if you try and get started and then you realize down the line, oh, actually I can only do 6 hours a week, it's not going to happen. It's not going to work. You need to do these 10 peak hours with 4 of them on the weekend. 4 have to be these purple hours, in fact. So this is all in Beijing time, 19:30 every day, 20:30, that's 7:30, 8:30 p.m. And something else to remember as well is you can book times whenever you want. Classes at iTutor Group are 24/7. So aside from that, I think reading everything, like Elaine said, is very important. And if you don't read something that later on, it might come round to kind of bite you on the bum a little bit. You might be like, oh wait, I never knew this, and they'll say, well, actually we did tell you. So it is important to read everything. And once you get a service agreement, now I don't know about you, but a lot of people just skim over the service agreement and don't read it. I read my service agreement like 10 times. I printed it out. I read it on paper. It's so important to make sure you understand everything in that service agreement.
Yeah. And that's like something really important. And something else that I've noticed is that teachers, they actually they join the training sessions, but I feel like some of them actually don't watch the training sessions. So guys, you should actually take your time to watch the training sessions, because I remember that throughout my training sessions, I was actually taking notes about everything. Because it's really important, because the information that is provided throughout the onboard training is really valuable. Okay, so as Joe said, reading the service agreement as well, it's important, because then in the future you are actually going to avoid lots of problems if you actually pay attention to those 2 important things. Training sessions and also reading your contract.
Yep, okay? It's true. I've had loads of candidates say to me at the last minute, oh, I'm supposed to have a class right now, but I don't know where to access it. And I have to explain to them where my session page is, and then I say to them, look, this was told to you in training. You obviously weren't paying attention. So yeah, you might embarrass yourselves, guys, if you trip up and don't know where to go even after training. So we understand if you have questions and you're a bit confused about things. We're not going to shoot you down, but as recruiters, because both of us are recruiters as well, we do appreciate it, and all the recruiters appreciate it if you do read and watch and listen to everything with, attention to detail.
Yeah, that's true.
Cool. So, Doreen, so you want to say something, Elaine?
Yeah, so I actually can see some questions popping up here, and I also have here on my phone a couple of questions from our super teachers that they couldn't make it due to time difference. So actually I have lots of questions.
Okay, cool.
So I can ask the first one.
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So let me just try to see. So I would like to ask about going through lessons and course contents in case of back-to-back sessions, especially when one can preview only an hour in advance, and that's not possible in case of back-to-back 3-hour slots. Any tips for newbies?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
A lot of people ask me this, a lot of recruits ask me this, and I have some very controversial advice when it comes to this. So when I started out, I was doing, like all the new teachers are, loads of planning, right? Now, after 3 years, I barely plan. I take a look at the lesson material, I'm like, okay, it's about this, I have an idea on how to teach this, I know this vocabulary, there's nothing that I don't need to look up and remember. Sometimes I need to pre-study, so I'll go through the material and I'll be like, oh, the past perfect. What is that again? So I need to look it up. But in general, my best advice is don't plan. Plan a little bit, preview, but don't plan too much, because lessons can change and be flipped and mixed around at the last minute.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it was actually a very good piece of advice. Well, actually, guys, it's possible to preview the lesson plan as soon as you get booked. Although, as Joe said, it's possible that a different lesson is going to be assigned to you. Maybe because the student canceled the class, or I think that it's mainly because of that, because the student canceled the class, so the schedulers are going to schedule you with another student and a different lesson plan. But I can tell you for sure that after a while, I know most of the lessons by heart because it's like I have been teaching the same lessons over and over again, especially storytelling. It's basically like the same about daddy's new clothes, the one about the train. So after a while, you basically just memorize everything.
Yeah, that's true. Good.
Yeah.
Let's take a question from the chat here. So Doreen says, hi, does the company pay tax, or do we have to sort that out ourselves? So for tax, you are considered an independent contractor. So from what I know, you sort out your own taxes. Yeah, you'll be considered self-employed.
Yeah.
You want to take another one from the chat?
Oh, sure. Let me just try to find one here, because things have moved here, so I lost some questions.
If you want, I can read from the chat, and you can read the ones you've got saved.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Okay, I'll take another one from the chat. How can one get started on online teaching? Well,
so first of all, I can tell you for sure that online teaching is completely different from actually teaching in a physical classroom in a traditional school. It's completely different, because you have to bear in mind that students, they don't speak your mother tongue. So it means that you are going to find different ways to try to communicate, especially when it comes to teach low levels. So TPR is quite important. So according to my experience in language schools, I didn't use TPR that much, but teaching online, I have been using TPR like the whole time. So something else is that since the student is not there in the classroom with you, you are going to try to find different ways to make the students pay attention to you, because you have to compete with the internet itself, with like cell phones, like games. So you basically have to find ways to make the class like more attractive. So Joe and we are using Manicam right now. Okay, so let me just fix here. So so with Manicam, you can actually do lots of things. So let's imagine that we are going to sing a song. So yeah, do you like to sing? Or we are going to learn about school supplies, for example. Oh, what's that? So prepositions. And actually, teaching grammar to kids, it's something that can be a little bit tiring and boring. So you have to be creative, like, okay, the pencils are on the school bag, now they are in. So students, they just love Manicam, and it makes the whole job like way easier. So teaching online is completely different from teaching in a traditional school. So but I think that first of all, you have to try to become familiar with computers, headsets, technology in general. And I think that it's pretty much like this. And how about you?
So one of the add-on questions to that, the same person asked, how did you get started yourself? So I'll answer that. I started, it's a bit of a long story, so I started teaching English as a volunteer teaching asylum seekers in England. A volunteer position. I used to do that, did that for a few months. And then after that I moved to Peru in South America, started teaching in language institutes for about a year. I worked for International House, Lima. That's quite a large chain of language institutes across the world. And then, I heard about Tutor ABC, or iTutor Group, and I was like, oh, I'll give it a try. And I loved it immediately. So the application process was really easy, but the technical side was crazy. Like, you won't believe what I used to, the environment that I used to teach in. I was like in a little alcove. I had like everything balanced on this desk just so I could have this white background behind me in this tiny apartment that I lived in. I eventually moved because I couldn't get my own internet in this apartment complex because everything was drywall. So I moved for this job. And now, I've got my own office. It's quite spacious. I've got my green screen, everything's set up nice, my lighting and everything. So I think it's been a long journey, but it's been such a nice kind of success story for teachers. So I think if anyone's thinking of teaching online and you work at a brick and mortar position, a school or a language institute, it's definitely something you should take a look at.
Yeah, that's true. Wow, so I can't even imagine that, like to not be able to have like your own, working space. Well, actually, I saw another question that I think that it's more for me than for you, Joe, that it was about how can you teach having a little one at home? So guys, you probably know my son Axel from that video that we shoot together about Christmas. So I have a son, he's 1 year old. So my advice to you, parents of little ones, is that you should teach while there is someone else watching your child. Because, for me, I wouldn't be able to teach, to focus while Axel is sleeping or playing quietly, because to be honest, he doesn't play quietly, and that's something that it's normal, because you can expect toddlers to be quiet. So something else is that I wouldn't feel comfortable like to have him waking up like in the middle of the night, and me here teaching and him crying. So I think that it would be a little bit too much. So in my case, I only teach while my husband is at home. So Joe also has a little one at home.
I do.
But yeah, it's like a fur baby.
So I have I have a little cat, but I also live with my stepdaughter, but she's 11, so she knows not to come in. So yeah, I don't have a little one, but that's really good advice. I think a lot of stay-at-home moms think it's okay to kind of teach with kids running wild in the house, and it's not, because if you do get up and tend to your children while you're in class, then you're going to start to have problems because you just can't do that. So that's good advice. Let's try to drill through some of these quick questions quickly.
Yeah.
What props do you need? You want to take that? You've already mentioned Minicam. Do you use physical props, Elaine?
Yeah, I use Axel's toys. So teddy bears. Yeah, exactly. So I use his picture book to teach the alphabet and some like easy vocabulary, like the colors, fruits. Yeah. So well, but to be honest, after Minicam, I almost never use like props.
Same.
It's
too easy. You just got everything you need in Minicam.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because before it was something like I had my table filled with stuffed toys, with books and this and that.
Yeah. Now you can just literally search for things and bring them in here pretty easily. It's really simple.
Yeah, it's so cool. You can even play basketball with the students, like bouncing the ball, right, Joe?
I could try it. There we go. Cool. All right. Another good question here was, are lessons an hour long? So we have two types of regular lessons. I won't talk about all the other different types of lessons, but the two types of regular lessons are 45-minute lessons, which tend to usually be group adult sessions. And then we have 25-minute lessons, which tend to usually be, in general, one-on-one sessions with kids. Okay? Yeah. So 25 minutes and 45 minutes. That's all you need to think of. What are the tips you would give when it comes to teaching with a little one at home? We've already covered that. Make sure someone watches your kid.
Yeah.
Let's see. I was supposed to have a class, but it was cancelled here, watching while cooking now. Hey, Nikki, what are you cooking? Sing, Joe. Sing, sing, sing. Sing. No.
Yeah, Joe sings, and I shouldn't sing at all. I can't sing at all.
We're not going to do any singing. Axel is the greatest name. I love it, says Jeff.
Oh, thank you. I love this name as well.
All right, let's take a look. Nikki and Lily, I watched your YouTube song video and it was the cutest thing ever. My little ones were dancing along in the background too.
Ooh, so cute.
Good. All right, so it looked like there were no concrete questions there. Do you have some saved that you want to refer to?
I have some questions here, so let me see the next one. Try to find. No, it was basically about props. Yeah. So we already covered that. So guys, come on, just
what I'll do
ask
is,
us questions.
Let me grab my little box of props and show you guys what you could do. And let me turn down the brightness of my ring light a little bit. Sorry guys, excuse me. It's a bit too bright.
Yeah, Joe is just showing off now.
So if I'm going to show these props, I need to turn off my green screen because some of them might be green. So a good idea for shapes lessons are shapes. And I have square, circle, rectangle, triangle. I have a box of props. Now what I love about these props is that my wife handmade all of these. So
wow, no way, really?
Yeah, like the crab, we used this.
Oh my god, so cute.
For the autumn festival because they eat a lot of crab and they have mooncake. So although Minicam is, it is great, I think it is also fantastic to have a kind of a bank of extra props that you can use in different situations. As I said, I've got loads in there: shorts, jacket, cuddly toys, plasticine things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, can you believe my wife actually made all these? It was
Wow,
interesting
that's
because
amazing.
I was
Yeah.
doing like a group of OUP classes, Oxford University Press classes, and every time I got like a new bunch of classes, I'd have to give my wife a new task list. I'd be like, okay, I need a crab, I need a rabbit, I need a dolphin, I need this, and she'd be like, yep, bang, and just smashed them out. It was so cool.
Yeah, well, Nikki is actually asking you if you paid her for that.
Oh, if I paid hard for that, me?
Yeah.
Well, you know.
You paid with
I
love.
paid with love, that's correct, yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's good.
My love is very expensive. Oh,
Ooh,
Jeff
look at
says.
you, Joe.
Jeff says, "What's the formula for success?" Just one word. I think is competence. Just be competent.
Yeah,
Yeah, be diligent, be
exactly.
competent, care about your responsibilities, and don't try and screw anyone over. I think.
Yeah, exactly. So be honest, be true to yourself, be respectful, be kind, and try to be helpful because you have to remember that someday you had to start from the beginning, you know, the from the beginning, and you well, the way that I see things is that for me at first it was really really difficult to actually adapt to the online teaching, especially because I didn't know about the Facebook groups. So it was pretty much just myself and I was trying to figure things out. So I think that it was last year that I actually learned about all the Facebook groups, and it was like a blessing in my life because then I could see that other teachers they were actually struggling in the same points, in the same aspects that I was, and I could learn so many things from Joe, from other teachers, from YouTube videos. So now that I am a rep as well, I just try to help everybody. So that's why I created this group, guys. I did it for you to help you, especially the teachers that are considering to move to actually start teaching online, because I know that at first it's scary because it's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, so my advice to use that, just try to be helpful, try to be honest, and work hard because someday it's going to be paid off.
Good advice. So someone asked about what it looks like in the My Session page. So actually, guys, if you someone said, can you see the student's name and everything? And you can. It's really cool. So I've got my classes open for tomorrow. Let's see. Here's tomorrow. Let's see. Yeah, so tomorrow I have a standby at 7:30 my time. I'm not sure if can you guys see that, or is it a little bit blurry?
Mm, n- uh, I I
Have to wait for
can't.
the Facebook Live to kind of catch up there.
Yeah.
Can kind of see it. I can zoom in a little bit, but basically what I'm
Yeah.
showing you is I can look at my class at 8:30 tomorrow. If I can zoom in a little, there we go. And I can see the student's name, I can see his age, I can see his level, I can see, I think it should show how many classes he's had. So this guy's had 176 classes. He's 16 years old, he's level 12, so it's junior class. He's attended my class twice. I can click preview material here, and that will kind of open up the material so I can have a look at that.
Yeah. Oh
So
yeah, so you were asking like one of the very first questions about when you can actually preview the lesson plan. Okay, that's good.
yeah, so this is in about 12 hours time, 12 and a half hours time, this class, the 8:30 class, and I can already preview the material, and for the one after it as well. So I've got two teenagers tomorrow. Looking forward to that.
It's gonna be fun.
Exactly. All right. Do we have any questions? Can you talk about the read along lessons? Any tips? So have you got any tips for read along lessons?
So Let me see. Well, if it's like a group session, I usually divide. So I break the paragraph, you know, down. Like I ask each student to read a sentence. So I believe that in this way, it's not tiring and boring for me and for the students. And I also try to ask like one or two questions per slide, because the vocabulary and correct pronunciation, they usually take lots of time. So how about you?
Yeah. I forgot the question. Sorry. What was it again? Reading along lessons. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
So what I do is I ask them a question before they read along. So check prior knowledge, read it with them line by line. A good technique that I like to do is called backtrack reading. So if they really struggle with reading, try reading the last word. Let's say the sentence is, John likes to eat apples. So you do this, apples. And they say apples. And then you say, eat apples, eat apples. To eat apples, to eat apples. Likes to eat apples, likes to eat apples. John likes to eat apples, John likes to eat apples. And that's a really cool technique to help students read. So that's my little tip.
Yeah, okay, it's good, very good. And that's a good example of TPR as well.
Okay, how is it to teach kids online, harder or easier? Depends, Anna. It really depends on what you prefer. Personally, I have my good days with kids, I have my bad days with kids, and I'm usually pretty good with adults anyway, so.
Okay, so tell us, like, in confidence, do you prefer kids or adults?
I'd have to say,
yeah,
I have to say that I do prefer teaching adults, yeah. But I don't dislike teaching kids. Sometimes I'm just kidding. Depends what the kids like, right? But no, it's always enjoyable.
Yeah, it's fun. Lots of fun.
Yeah. Let's see. I don't suppose I could be really cheeky here and ask how you would teach a student, say, about the letter D for a beginner. How would you go about it? Do you fancy a little role play, Elaine? Do you want to show us how you would teach a student the letter D? A child student?
The letter D. Okay. So, first of all, I think that I don't have here on my main cam. D, okay. Yeah. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so let's take a look. D, big D. Small d. Oh, D. Okay, thank you. Small d. Okay, good job. Wow, that was such a good job. I'll give you the great job star. Very good. Actually, I was thinking about a word that starts with D. Oh, dentist. Dentist. Oh, I love going to the dentist. And you, do you love going to the dentist? Yes or no? Yes or no questions are quite helpful, especially when it comes to teach beginners, because it's going to enable you to teach yes, I do, or no, I don't. Okay, great job. Some clapping for you. That's it.
That's really good. A few of the things that you did there, which everyone should take note of, is you were looking at the camera, you were smiling, using loads of TPR, speaking slowly, clearly, enthusiastically as well. That's pretty much a perfect example. So whoever asked that question, there you go.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Joe.
No worries.
Yeah. Actually, I think that looking at the camera is something so important because I believe that it makes the whole experience more personal, because the students are going to feel like you are there, paying attention to them. And something that I I also do is that I always nod like this, just to make students feel like more comfortable. Smiling is also important, but I mean, of course, you don't have to smile the whole time. But the things that I'm always smiling, so it's easy for me.
Yeah, good. Nice. I'm trying to catch up with the chat because there's so many comments.
Yeah.
It's good though. Thanks everyone for coming along.
Yeah, I mean, lots of people, lots of questions. Oh, Jeff, thank you so much because he just gave me lots of examples with words of words that start with D. Thank you.
Let's see. Cool. Have we missed anyone's question? If we missed a question that you want to ask, just put it in the chat again, because I'm trying to kind of sift through all the comments.
Yeah, me too. But it's just like so many questions.
Yeah, it's good though.
Yeah, cool. It's very good. So guys, just feel free to ask us more questions. And as Joe said, if we didn't answer your questions, just type it again, okay?
Yeah. I want to talk about something quickly. Someone said, you missed my question. What was your question, Jeff? Please write it down again. Doc Andrews says, Joe, I watched a 45-minute video class. Can you share where we can get questions like you have in A to Z 1 to 10? Yeah, it's a website called esldiscussions.com. esldiscussions.com. Let me write that down.
Okay.
esldiscussions.com. Should be able to see it there. That's where I got it from. So I've got so many things open, I'm trying to figure it all out. It's very easy for a serious face to be interpreted as unfriendly, so smiling is very important. Yeah, actually.
Yeah, that's true.
In my interview, guys, for iTutor Group, my interviewer said to me, this was 3 years ago, she said to me, because I was kind of like, yep, okay, I understand, making notes like this, kind of frowning a little bit, and she said at the end, look, if you're going to get the job, you really need to smile more. You're too serious. And I was like, oh, really? And I felt so bad, and I was like, oh, no. So I was like, really? Okay, yeah, I can do that. Looking into the camera. So yeah, looking into the camera is really important, and smiling.
Yeah, now just look at you. You're basically on the camera. Right, guys?
I try, thanks. What are some activities that we can use when we have some time left, with adults especially? So this activity is cool, the ESL discussions activity. Just asking them a random question from there. Elaine, do you have any more?
Well, I usually ask some additional questions about the topic of the class, or I let them ask me questions. Like I am based in Canada, so they have lots of questions about Canada, about the weather, about this, about that, or they, I can say that, let's say 90% of the time, they always tell me that they have been here. So they either have been here or they know someone that has been here. So, I just make like a kind of free conversation with them.
Yep. That's always the best thing to do. I love doing that as well. I say to them at the end, you know what? Ask me something. I always make it a bit of a funny activity. I always say, teachers ask you, where are you from? Teachers ask you, what's your job? Oh, boring. Why don't you ask me something? Anything you want. And so 80% of the time they ask me what I think about Brexit, so I have to redirect them and say, no, we don't talk about politics. But yeah, it's pretty fun. Okay. We did that one. What's your favorite part about being an online ESL teacher?
Well, I love the flexibility that it comes with the job, and for me it's just perfect because, as I mentioned before, I have a toddler, so I do need like flexible working hours, especially because I teach early in the morning or in the evenings because my husband has a full-time job. And something else is that I learn so many things from students, because it's a different culture, so they have like different way different ways of thinking. They teach me so many things. So I think that it was last weekend. I taught a regular 25 minute session, and it was about Easter. Yeah, it was that famous Easter lesson. So the girl was actually teaching me about all Chinese festivals. So she taught me so many things, like in the Dragon Boat Festival, they spray something on the windows and doors, so in this way the evil spirits are not going to get in people's houses. I was like, oh my god, that's so cool. So well, I think that for me it's basically the fact that I can work like flexible hours, and this kind of interaction that I can learn like lots of different things when it comes to culture. So how about you, Joe?
Yeah, flexibility is a massive one as well, I think, for everyone. And yeah, learning things about culture, that's really nice. You kind of stole them from me now. I think avoiding the commute, because when I used to work in Lima teaching, I used to, like, no joke, I used to spend way more time traveling than I did teaching, and I didn't get paid for, being on a bus for an hour and a half
Wow,
stuck in
really?
traffic. Oh yeah, it was rough. My first year of teaching was rough. So this is why I appreciate this so much. I can just log in, work from home, and I think there's a balance, because we are responsible for our own equipment, right? In
Mm-hmm.
most other companies where you have an office job, they give you a computer, they give you a desk, they give you an office, but here it's different. We're responsible for our internet, um, all the technical stuff. So this is balanced out by the fact that it is so flexible, and that we work in our homes.
Yeah,
This is the kind of the payoff that you get for it, and I think it's
exactly.
well worth it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
commuting is something else because in my case, the fact that I don't have to go out in the Canadian winter, it's amazing because sometimes I wake up and I see like snowy, dirty, like windy, extremely cold, and my husband has his big jacket and gloves and everything, and I just look at him and I say, yeah, you go and I stay. I can teach in my PJs
Yeah,
pants.
you're in your pajamas with a cup of coffee. Nice.
Yeah, I mean that's great.
Good. Cool. Let's see. So just to cover a few things, they ask about Trump too. No, actually, Jeff, I was talking about adults. We were talking about adults. The kids don't
Mm-hmm.
ask me about Brexit. But yeah, sometimes the adults talk about Trump and Brexit, Theresa May. Do you see yourself still teaching online 10 years from now?
Mm. Yes, well, right now I can see that, but I mean things change. So maybe I don't know, but right now I just love it, and I mean it's perfect for me. And to be honest, I can't see myself going back to a brick and mortar school. And
Yeah,
you, Joe?
yeah. I see myself working, teaching online in the next 10 years, absolutely. But I think there's going to be a lot of difference. Now, I'm getting, like, I don't want to brag and stuff, but I'm getting so comfortable using technology to teach, where I can show my students kind of videos in the background, and
Mm-hmm.
like create a kind of cinema environment and stuff like that, using different presets. As an example, what I like to do sometimes is, if we go over to this, I like to share videos, like I was saying, with students, and I can take them anywhere I want with a green screen.
Yeah,
Um,
it's amazing.
so if I make a YouTube video or something, I can kind of show that to them without them having to access YouTube, and say, hey, let's watch my video together. So I think it's going to be different in the future, and it's going to be, I personally think it's going to be where we're kind of walking around in the real world, maybe in a controlled environment, and maybe we're cooking, and we're like, okay, today's lesson is about cooking, spaghetti or whatever you're good at doing. Maybe if you're good at making videos or something. Maybe I could teach a class in English about making videos with a webcam set up and everything. So I think
Yeah,
down the line, technology is going to be playing a huge part in this job.
definitely. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but that's just my theory, crazy scientist theory. Let's see. Oh, do you eat in between classes?
Oh yeah, definitely. And sometimes during the classes, yeah, yeah, the students are singing those OUP songs, and I am like this, and then I go, I take a bite, I come back. Yeah, well, I think that since you have like only 5 minute break between sessions, you have to perform miracles like running to the washroom and coming back. No, having a snack or something.
Yeah, absolutely. I usually kind of miss breakfast, but I'm trying to get into the habit of having a good solid breakfast every morning. I'm not a big snacker. I don't know why, but I don't really feel the need to eat, but I feel the need to drink, not alcohol, water or coffee every so often. So I'll get up and go and grab some water or something. But I don't snack too much. I probably should snack more.
Yeah,
Um,
you were too skinny.
yeah. Wait, sorry, what?
You were too skinny.
Yeah. Well, I've actually over Christmas I've put on a little bit of weight. I've got to I keep trying to tell myself I've got to go for a run, and I keep, you know, giving myself reasons not to. No, have a nap instead.
Napping is
Yeah.
so good. Yeah, I can't blame you.
Nikki says you have a future in YouTubing though, broski. Thanks, Nikki. I hope so. I'm
Yeah,
trying.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
You guys, you should check his videos out because they're amazing and you are going to learn so many things from Joe.
Thanks.
He's great. No, that's true.
I don't know what you're talking
Yeah.
about. I don't know what you're talking about. There we go. No
Yeah.
idea. Yeah, guys, I have when I do training and stuff, I always advertise my channel, and this is because people say it's just a cheap trick to try and get more subscribers and stuff, but genuinely, I don't get paid right now for making videos. I don't get any money for that, and I make videos because I think of things and I'm like, I've got to tell everyone this. I've got to share this with everyone. So I do it, and I make a video and I share it. And the reason I do tell people to go and follow me on YouTube and stuff, watch my videos, is because there's so much I want to tell you guys that I can't tell you here, that I can't tell you. I haven't got the time to tell you all everything and just unload all of my mind and all of this experience kind of condensed into one thing. So the videos are a really good way for me to show you guys in a creative, fun way how to get some tips for teaching, for other things.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, check out the channel. Cool. Let's see what else we got.
How do I check out his videos? So the link is right there. Yeah.
Yes, technology is going to be the future. What worries me, says Abdul, is that I'll be in my mid-50s in 10 years' time, worried that keeping a job will become increasingly difficult as I get older. I've got some advice for this, guys. This is not advice that you might want to hear right now, and it might put a lot of pressure on you, and might make you feel like you have the world on your shoulders. But in this job, as independent contractors, it's important that you have a retirement plan. Okay?
Yeah.
We don't get retirement. We don't get the same benefits that you would with any kind of job, any kind of state job or a local job. So start saving your money. I really recommend that. Save as much as you can per month. Open a savings account, one that will have the interest benefits, what are they called, ISOs or something. But yeah, really think about your retirement. Think about the future, because it is super important.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's a very good piece of advice.
Yeah, it's a bit of a dark question because everyone gets a bit stressed and I hate being an adult, but
yeah,
it's true.
We don't have to think about it because Joe and we are only 22 years old, so we don't have to think about it.
Yeah. Well, I'm 26.
Yeah, don't tell them.
All right, cool. Let's take a look. Don't smoke. That's very bad. Okay, thanks for the input. Joe's videos are amazing. Thanks, Amain. How do I check out his videos? The link's just there, so you can follow that, or just look up my name on YouTube.
Yeah.
What's your opinion on clickbait? I love clickbait. I create clickbait for my YouTube videos all the time. Wait till you guys see the title for my next video, okay? This is the most clickbait thing you'll ever see.
Oh my god, I can't wait to see it.
Coming next Wednesday. Oh no, it'll be the Wednesday after. You guys will see. Okay. So I've got another one coming. We should make this a weekly thing. So much fun. Cheers, Jen.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should, shouldn't we?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm having so much fun here, guys, with my super teachers and with Super Joe.
We'll be doing it in the newbie group weekly soon, says Nikki. Yeah, we will. What's your take on positive reinforcement? Good question. If I think I understand it. Do you get that question? Positive reinforcement.
I think that I did. So you mean like when you were teaching? Yeah.
I guess that's what she means. Nikki?
Yeah.
Nikki, is that what you mean? I guess yeah. So when a student makes a mistake and you say good job, close, but let's, instead of saying like no, that's incorrect.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think about that?
Well, something that I usually do, I just say, okay, good job, but let's try it again. Let's try it very slowly now. Okay, listen. So I repeat, and then if he doesn't get it right, I can repeat like 100 times. I don't care. But when he does get it right, he gets stars, applauses, fireworks, he gets everything.
Yeah.
How about you?
Yeah, the same thing really. I really try to avoid saying no ever. I'm too nice with kids sometimes, you know, even if they're being a bloody pain, I'm just smiling like, okay, this is fine. But if they make a mistake, I usually just give them a look. I'm like, well. So I think that's a really good way, because if you do just say no, that's not right, it's definitely going to discourage them. What about taking away rewards, Elaine? Do you ever do that?
No, because I think that I am like that kind of good teacher. So all my students, they usually they usually get 5 stars, unless it's that kind of student that doesn't do anything, that, you know, doesn't even try. So I may give them like 1 or 2 stars, like to encourage them, but I don't actually do more than that.
Yeah, I also think it's a bad idea to take away rewards. I wouldn't do it, but I understand the thinking behind it, and I respect teachers that do that. Everyone's different.
Actually, I have a quick question for you. So probably I think that some teachers, they have faced this kind of student. It's that kind of student that he is going to ignore you. He doesn't say anything. You try to ask questions, you try to make him read the text, but he's just looking at you, or just looking around, or just leaves to do something and comes back. So how do you behave in situations like that?
Such a good question. This is literally the question that I get asked most in any type of training that I do. So for a student that is just absolutely not responding, what I do is I keep trying my best to interact with them and trying different things. So I'll read a word on the page, or I'll say, hello, my name is Joe. What's your name? And I'll get really close to the camera. So they still don't speak, so I'll bring out the bear. Hello, my name is Billy. What's your name? What's your name? Still nothing, right? So I'll say, okay, and you can see their name. So I say, listen and say, my name. And now this is the important part. This is the part that a lot of people miss. I quietly say what they need to say, and they'll feel obliged to follow you. So I'll be like, okay, my name is Jack. Ready? My name is, and they go for that. Usually they take the bait. If they don't take the bait and they're still ignoring you, I'll check that they can hear me. I'll say, okay,
Mhm.
can you hear me? I'll write it down. And if they don't respond to that, this is maybe not the best advice, but this is what I do. I turn off my webcam, I turn off my microphone, and I tell PMIT, look, this kid can't hear me. Either that or he's just totally not responding. I don't know what to do. Can you check that he can hear me? And then PMIT will come in. And usually, when you do that, they start responding. They'll be
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
teacher, teacher, and then you
Yeah,
turn
they
it back
freak
on.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Another good way is when they're not responding at all, I kind of make it seem like an urgent something's wrong. I'll be like, okay, hello, can you hear me? Hello, something's wrong. Hello, look really worried about it, and they'll be like, yeah, teacher, I can hear you, and I'll be like, oh, okay, so let's learn English then. Usually if you kind of put a little bit of urgency in the situation, they'll respond to
Yeah.
that.
Well, it's happened to me only once. So I turned my cam off. I muted my microphone. It was like 30 seconds. The boy freaked out. Teacher, are you there? Are you there? Oh my God. So I said, hey, I'm here. So he said, okay. And it was a miracle because then he was so responsive.
Yep.
So, yeah.
It works, doesn't it? See, I'm glad we do the same thing. Let's see. What are some teaching techniques that you always use in your classroom, both adults and juniors? One thing that I'll mention is I always rigorously correct people. So as soon as they make a mistake, I'll be like, okay, 1 second. This is pronounced interested, not interested. No. Interested. Say it again. So I'm so obsessive with correcting students. How about you?
Well, corrections as well, vocabulary, and I always try to offer extra vocabulary and some expressions, some Canadian expressions, especially even when I teach beginners like the alphabet, because in Canada we say Z, we don't say Z, it's Z. So yeah,
same
so
as British English.
Oh, I just wonder why. Yeah, so I always mention that to my students, and they just love it.
Yeah, nice. So I think it's good as well. I always do that. I tell them the British way to say things sometimes, because they'll be like elevator, and I'll say, in England we say lift. Just in case you see that word in the future, lift. That's the British English version.
Yeah, they just love it.
Yeah. Cool. Did you have any other questions saved over there?
Not really. So, how about you guys? Nothing. Okay. So, I think that's it, right?
Yeah, I think it's been nearly an hour, so that's pretty good.
Yeah. So, we actually planned, this live session to be 30 minutes, but it's almost an hour. But I just had lots of fun. I just loved to be here. And I just want to thank you all guys, my super teachers. Thank you for being here. And Joe as well. It was a pleasure to have you here.
Yeah, thanks, Elaine. It's been really nice. I've enjoyed this, and hopefully people seem to respond well to this, so we should do it again in the future, I think.
Yeah, it's going to be lots of fun.
Yeah, thanks. It was your idea as well, so thanks for initiating this.
Yeah, so guys, thank you very much. And don't forget to check Joe's channel out on YouTube, okay? Because you are gonna love his tips and everything. And I also have a channel, and later on I can post here the link. So guys, thank you very much. It was great to have you here. Thank you, Joe. And for the ones that they couldn't be here today, don't worry, because we are going to post this video. We are going to add it to post it, and well, I hope that everybody enjoyed. Okay, so thank you. Have a good night. Thank you, Joe. Good night.
Thanks, Elaine. Good night. Bye, everyone.
Okay, bye.